Happy Friday, folks, and welcome back to the random video blog where every single Friday I, Graham G.S. Matthews, run down my rambling thoughts in the wrestling world, share a few stories, etc., etc. And today I'm sharing the story of when I met Chris Jericho mere days ago on August 27th, 2017 at a Northeast wrestling event. Now, I've done two other random video blogs like this in recent months, one back in June talking about my experience meeting Jake the Snake Roberts, Kelly, Teddy Long, Pentagon Jr., Pentagon Dark, whatever. Last month, I talked about my experience meeting Prince Puma, a.k.a. Ricochet, Cody Rhodes again, Ryback, which was really cool considering I'm a big fan of his, and also Jack Swagger. So I've been to a lot of Northeast wrestling shows in recent months. I saw they had a stacked schedule for the summer, and I knew I had to go. I had to meet all these guys. And a lot of these guys, like I just said, none of the people I just mentioned were at other shows. Cody Rhodes was the only one that was at the July show and the August show. And I've already met him anyway. I met him about a year ago, so when I met him in July again, I had him sign the Intercontinental Championship, and that's not the last time you'll see this belt. I'll talk about that in a second. But, excuse me. But, yeah, I had to meet Pentagon Jr. because I had no idea when he'd be back, if ever, so I had to meet him, which was super fucking cool. I got to meet Ryback. I had no idea when he would be back, and he was not at the show last night. He was supposed to be, or on Sunday night, or rather, he was supposed to be. He wasn't, so I'm glad I met him when I did, and also Chris Jericho. The thing with Chris Jericho is that I've had opportunities to meet him in the past. Now, I know he's done book signings before in, like, New York and shit and stuff like that, and in concerts. His Fozzy concerts do not ordinarily come near me. When I found out they were doing a Fozzy concert in Worcester, Massachusetts this October, I said I gotta go, and I bought my tickets almost immediately. So I will be going to that, but I wasn't getting VIP knowing I'd be able to meet him at this show this past Sunday. So like I said, I've had two other opportunities in the past to meet him face-to-face. Now, I'll talk about my other interactions with him in a second, but one came, I believe, 5 years ago. Around the same exact time 5 years ago, he was up, also in New York, coincidentally enough, doing like a CD signing for his new Fozzy CD or something like that. I couldn't make it. For whatever reason, I just couldn't make it, didn't ask anyone to bring me, whatever, couldn't go. I figured if it wasn't close, I couldn't go. Second time, he came around to like these parts for an autograph signing in also in New York, I believe, in May of 2014. Now, I was down at school at that point, Massachusetts, and that would have been fucking forever to get to, so I said I can't do it. And it was also around finals time and stuff. It wasn't going to work out. Third time's the charm was this past Sunday. I said I have to go to this show, if only to meet Chris Jericho. And I don't really count WrestleMania Access because Jason and I went to that earlier this year, and Jericho was there. But it was so much more money, and I paid around the same amount this past week to go meet Jericho. It was also probably just as much money at Access to meet him, but it would have been for a quick picture. Like when I met him on Sunday, you got an awesome deal. I got pretty much four things. I got to buy his book early, which alone would have been like $30. I got to buy his book early. I got to have it autographed on the inside, which you had to buy a book in order to meet him, but he autographed the inside of the book, and I love his books. This is a motivational book. It's a bit different from his other ones, but all of his books are great. And I own all of them. I've read all of them, and I even reviewed one here for the channel about a year ago. So he signed that book. We bought the book. He signed the book. I got him to sign my Intercontinental Championship right there. So it says Chris Jericho Y2J. And I also got the picture with him that you can see on the thumbnail of this video. So I got that picture with him. They took a lot of pictures of us talking, which was really cool. I posted a bunch to the Facebook and Twitter this past week, so if you want to check that out, please do so. Which was super fucking cool. I was not expecting that. They did the same thing when I met Baron Corbin, too, when the person who was holding my phone to take a picture took like a bunch of pictures of us talking, which was really cool. But, and I knew they were going to rush us, too. So I get there around like 2:45. The meet and greet started for the show around 2. We left around like 11:30, but we got there at like 2:45 or whatever. So I'm like, okay, this is going to be a while. But anyway, so I get there around 2:45. I didn't end up meeting Jericho until 4:15. So I'm waiting in this long-ass line for an hour and a half. So fucking worth it because it's Chris fucking Jericho. And as soon as I approach him, like he went to the bathroom like 2 or 3 people before me. So he was gone for a couple minutes. But they were like rushing people. They really wanted to get him out there by 5. They really wanted to close it off at a certain point, and which they did. But I really wanted to get everything in there that I wanted to say. So, like I said, my other interactions with Chris Jericho, I've talked to him before. I called into his podcast about 3.5 years ago to talk about, it's not here on the channel, it's like under miscellaneous or something. I called into his podcast randomly one day, not thinking I'd be able to get in, but I did. asking him, of all things, what was it like to be the Miz's tag team partner? What was the idea behind that, like back in 2010 or whatever? Which was really cool for like the 2 or 3 minutes we talked for. That was awesome. Got even better when I got to interview him for hiddenremote.com in March of the following year, in March of 2015. That was really, really cool and a surreal experience. I got his Road is Jericho DVD for free by WWE, which was great. I've written articles about him. He's replied to me on Twitter. All this awesome shit, which is really fucking cool. He's like retweeted me, liked my tweets. Not liked, but like retweeted and replied to them and stuff like that. So, excuse me. Chris Jericho's awesome. I've listened to every Talk is Jericho podcast. I love Fozzy. I love his books. Big Chris Jericho fan. So to be able to tell him, like, I was like rushing through everything I wanted to tell him. Like, I've interviewed you. I've written articles about you that you've endorsed. I called into your podcast about this and that. He's asking me like, oh, what website and all this other stuff. And I'm like a nervous wreck. Like, I'm forgetting what I'm supposed to say. I'm like, you're such a huge inspiration. I want to follow in your footsteps and becoming a journalism major. And that's what you did when you went to college. And I'm embarking on my master's tomorrow, which I did this past week on Monday. I kind of want to like diversify myself as you have, and being such a success in so many different avenues is inspiring to me. And I talked about that before here on the channel when I did my like top 4 or 5 biggest inspirational icons. Jericho was one of them. And that's why, because he's able to do so much, like between being a wrestler and a podcast host and a rock star and a game show host and all this other stuff, an actor. And I was able to tell him all that. He signed my stuff. I'm glad I had 2 different things for him to sign, because I wouldn't have had as much time to talk to him as I did if I didn't. So yeah, he was super cool. He was super appreciative. He said best of luck. We took the picture. He was awesome. I went on my way, and I'm like, wow, that was super fucking cool. So also that day, I might as well mention too, I got to meet Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, which was great. I knew he was going to be there, so I brought my IC title for Jericho to sign, but also Steamboat. You can kind of see it there. That's Cody Rhodes right here. On the opposite side is Ricky Steamboat. He put Ricky Steamboat, the Dragon Hall of Fame 09. You can see it right there. The belt that he won at WrestleMania 3, so I thought it was perfect for him to sign that. And he was cool when I talked to him for like 30 seconds. I got to talk to like Mick Foley for like 3 or 4 minutes. I didn't purchase anything from the guy. And I've met Mick Foley like at least 3 or 4 times before this. But I didn't get anything. I didn't buy a picture. I didn't get anything signed or whatever. I just said, hey, Mick, have you ever been back to the New Hampshire theme park that I met you at a few years ago? And he went on this big rant about how much the park sucks and how unsafe it was, all this other stuff, how we wouldn't be back, and his experience that day. It was so funny. It was great, but because I got to talk to him about that 2 years ago when we met him there. So for me to be able to bring that up and talk to him for like 3 or 4 minutes as he was holding other people back from, so he could talk to me about this was super funny. But yeah, Mick Foley's a really, really cool guy. I was glad I was able to talk to him about that. For the full story on that, by the way, check out my random video blog that I talked to him meeting Mick Foley again. When I talked to him meeting him again about 2 years ago in the summer of 2015. So check that out when you can. But yeah, that was my experience meeting Chris Jericho. The show itself was good. I mean, all the Northeast wrestling shows are good. Not really blow away. I've been to better wrestling shows before. But just meeting Jericho was well worth it alone. And also while I was there, I got the Chris Jericho pop vinyl. You just made the list. Get a little close up there. See, it says the list of Jericho. I don't know if it's going to focus in or not, but yeah, so I got that for like $15, which was super cool. Because I haven't seen it anywhere else, and I was going to pay more money for it online. But yeah, meeting Chris Jericho, a dream come true, literally. I cannot thank you enough, Chris. I doubt you're watching this, but just saying thank you so much for your time. You're a fucking godsend. Big inspirational icon of mine, a big inspirational idol. I appreciate it greatly. Hope we can cross paths again down the road. But again, that being said, I appreciate you guys taking the time out of your day to check out my video. If you get the chance to meet Chris Jericho, definitely do so. Again, I'm probably not going to meet him again at the Fozzy concert in October. I'm not doing a VIP signing or anything with him, but I will be seeing him live. That's going to be my first concert. Believe it or not, my first ever concert will be Fozzy on October 5th in Worcester, Mass. I'm looking forward to that. I fucking love Fozzy, so that's going to be a great time. But anyway, guys, like I said, thank you for checking out the video. I appreciate it. Like the video. Drop a comment with your own experiences meeting Chris Jericho or other wrestlers you wish to meet. Be sure to share the video and also subscribe to the channel. I thoroughly appreciate it. We'll be back next Friday with another all-new random video blog. What it's going to be about, I have no idea. Probably talking about the WWE Book of Rules that I got as a gift a few months ago. I'll probably review that real quickly for the random video blog. But until then, guys, enjoy the rest of your weekend. I'm Graham G.S. Matthews, and I'll catch your ass down the road.